With you, Chris, it is always a little gloomy this time of year in Seattle, but a ray of sunshine.
Yeah.
The return of Russell Wilson.
It certainly appears that way. Our Josina Anderson is reporting that the Seahawks plan to play Russell Wilson this week against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. It's a late Sunday afternoon game. Russell Wilson did release a video on social media a little while ago. It was a nod to Succession, the great show on HBO. And there was a caption that said, "It's time."
Well, at least we know he's a fan of Succession.
Great show, isn't it? He had a video of Lambeau right there in that video. So clearly, he intends on returning this week. Reportedly, he's been cleared by his surgeon after that finger injury. He's missed the last 3 games. Seahawks 1-2 in those games with Geno Smith. Just a game out of the last wild card spot in the NFC. All right, let's get Pete Prisco in here. Pete, this is what we expected. Everything has gone well in the recovery, and Russell Wilson returns. And I think that the best news here is they're only a game out of that last playoff spot. We thought maybe the season could get away from them. Geno got that 1 win, and they're still in it.
Yeah, that was an important win, obviously, against the Jaguars team that didn't play very well that day, based on what they did on Sunday. So, yeah, that was an important win to keep him in the race. And now it's important to get him back and see if he can still throw the football the same way. And I'm sure he can. The doctors wouldn't have cleared him if he couldn't. But that's always the problem with Seattle. They don't throw the ball enough. You know, it's one of my pet peeves for that team. And when you have Russell Wilson, should be able to move him around, get him outside the pocket, make throws down the field. You have Metcalf on the outside with Lockett. Throw the ball around. Throw it more. And I think this week, Chris, they'll be forced to. They play the Packers, and Rodgers should be back, and they'll throw the football around against that bad Seattle defense. So it'll put a lot of pressure right from the get-go on Russell Wilson to see if that hand and that finger is indeed okay.
Now you see the schedule this season. They have not won back-to-back games yet, but they're coming off the bye week, going to Green Bay, and then they have the Cardinals and sitting at 3-5. You'd think they have to at least split those to have a chance at the postseason. What do you expect from that offense now that Russell Wilson returns?
Well, again, I'd like to think that they're going to get more of him and less of that run game. And I know Pete Carroll wants to run the football, and that's his formula over the years for you won a Super Bowl and came within a whisker of winning another one. Play great defense and run the ball, and then let Russell Wilson hit the shots down the field. The problem with that is they don't play great defense anymore. I mean, they had arguably one of the greatest defenses of all time. I mean, they were the top scoring defense in the league for 4 straight years. You could do that, but now you can't do that. Now it's a passing league, and you need to allow Russell Wilson to throw the football around and allow Metcalf and Lockett to become real threats on the outside. And I think that's what they'll do this week. It's almost like you have to do that this week because you're going to get caught in the shootout against the Packers. So that's what I want to see. I want to see more Russell Wilson. I know the finger is an issue. We'll see if he can throw the football. If he can't throw it this week, they'll know in practice. But if he's healthy enough to throw it around. Enjoy it. Get him free. Set him free. Play loose.
And again, our Josina Anderson reporting that Russell Wilson is scheduled to return this week against the Green Bay Packers. Highest passer rating this season, but we haven't seen him in close to a month now. Seattle is not in playoff position at this point, 3-5, Pete. Are they a playoff team with a healthy Wilson?
They weren't earlier in the season, and unless the defense makes big strides, I don't think they are. And again, they've played a lot of teams that are pretty good teams, and they've struggled with them, particularly on defense. And if you can't rush the passer, and they haven't been great at rushing the passer, you have problems. And that was always their, MO. Rush the passer, play zone coverage behind it, and they haven't been good at it this year. So I'd answer your question, Chris. The answer is no. I don't think they are. Even if Russell Wilson plays at a high level, I don't think the defense is good enough.
So now, assuming that Wilson returns for that game, the question at quarterback goes to the other side of the field and the Green Bay Packers in that matchup. Aaron Rodgers, according to the most recent reports, could return as early as Saturday to the team. He doesn't need to practice. What's the latest on Aaron Rodgers being able to return for that game, and is that what you expect?
Yeah, I expect him to play this week. Again, the protocols are in place. 10 days, he should be able to play. Return on it, provided he's got a negative test. He returns on Saturday and they plays on Sunday. And if he plays, they're going to be able to move the football. They were a different offense without him. Jordan Love struggled. I thought they got away from the run game against the Chiefs. They might have won that game if they had stuck to it a little bit more. But they'll get back to being the Packers. They need not worry. As long as Aaron Rodgers is on the field and he's healthy, they'll be able to score on Seattle.
So you're not worried about any kind of suspension coming down from the league or anything like that with Aaron Rodgers?
No, none at all. At least from what I've talked to people around the league, they don't expect it either. It would be a real surprise. I mean, he might get a slap on the wrist. He might get fined. But a suspension, I don't think so. I think the penalty came from missing that game. It ended a 7-game winning streak, and it kind of derailed their momentum a little bit. So, no, I don't think he'll be suspended.
I know we've kind of gone off of Russell Wilson here for a second, but they are playing the Packers. So I do want to ask you, what did we learn about Jordan Love as a potential predecessor to Aaron Rodgers?
We learned he has a long way to go. In fairness to him, making a first start on the road at Arrowhead is tough. It's hard to do. It's not a great defense he faced, but it's hard to do in that environment. And he made some throws. He made a nice throw late in the game to Lazard for the touchdown. So he started to gain a little confidence as the game went on. You can't judge him on that game. It's unfair to him. But I can tell you this, Packer fans sure are hopeful that Aaron Rodgers is back soon, especially on Sunday.
Yeah, could be back this week. That's the expectation at this point. Packers and Seahawks, hopefully it's Aaron Rodgers against Russell Wilson. Certainly appears to be trending that way. Pete Prisco with us here on CBS Sports HQ. As you look at the Seahawks schedule, they've already finished that left side of the screen now at 3-5. We're on to the right side, Week 10 at the Packers, and then against the Cardinals, who have the best record in football.